Captain Lee Taman stood on the bridge of his ship, watching the stars through the main screen. His crew worked quietly around him. Everything seemed peaceful. For 50 years, humans had been friends with the aliens in the Galactic Council. They shared technology, knowledge, and friendship. Dr. Park So-young walked onto the bridge carrying her datapad. She had been working with the alien scientists for 3 years now. Her face showed excitement as she approached the captain. "The council meeting went well today," she said with a smile. "The reptilian scientists from Vextar's world want to share their medical technology with us. They say it can help humans live longer." Lee nodded, but something felt wrong. He could not explain why. "That sounds good, Doctor. What about the other species? Everyone seems happy to work with us. The council leaders keep saying how much they value human friendship." Park looked at her notes. Ambassador Kim sent a message from the main council station. "All human ships need to move to special safe zones." "Safe zones?" Lee asked. This was new information. Park checked her pad again. "Yes, they say pirates are becoming dangerous in some parts of the galaxy. The council wants all military ships from every species to stay in protected areas. It's for our safety." Lee felt that strange feeling again. In all his years as a captain, he learned to trust his instincts. Something about this felt wrong, but he could not say what. On the main council station, Ambassador Kim Do-hyun read the official message one more time. The words seemed normal, but the timing felt odd. Why would the council suddenly worry about pirates now? The galaxy had been peaceful for decades. The message was clear. All human military ships must move to 3 specific areas of space. Earth's government had already agreed. Admiral Choi Woo-jin himself had signed the order. Kim walked to his office window and looked out at the massive space station. Aliens from dozens of species moved through the corridors. For years he had worked to build trust between humans and these beings. Most seemed genuinely friendly. But lately, some conversations stopped when he entered rooms. Some alien officials seemed nervous around him. He told himself he was imagining things. His communication device buzzed. A message from Earth appeared on the screen. Admiral Choi's face looked serious. "Kim, make sure our ships follow the council orders exactly. Move all vessels to the designated zones immediately. This is very important." Kim nodded to the recorded message. Earth's leaders knew best. If they trusted the council, so would he. Back on Lee's ship, the crew prepared to move to their assigned zone. Engineer Lim Sung-ho ran final checks on the ship's systems. He had been working on human ships for 15 years and knew every sound they made. Today, something sounded different. A small vibration in the engine room that was not there yesterday. When he investigated, he found a small device attached to the main power system. It looked like alien technology, but he had never seen it before. "Captain," Lim called over the communication system. "You need to see this." Lee and Park hurried to the engine room. Lim showed them the strange device. It was small, about the size of a human hand, and covered in symbols they did not recognize. "When did this appear?" Lee asked. "It was not here yesterday during my regular inspection," Lim said. "It seems to be connected to our main systems, but I cannot tell what it does." Park studied the symbols on the device. Some looked familiar from her work with alien scientists. "These markings, I think they might be from the Vextari language. But I cannot read all of them." Lee felt his bad feeling grow stronger. "Can you remove it safely?" Lim shook his head. "It's connected to too many important systems. If I remove it wrong, we might lose power completely." "Leave it for now," Lee decided. "But watch it carefully. Tell me if anything changes." Over the next few days, Lee's ship traveled toward their assigned safe zone. Other human ships were doing the same thing. Captain Nam Hyun-woo's ship was heading to a different zone. Captain Han Ji-woo's fleet was moving to the 3rd area. Park continued her research on the strange device. She sent messages to her alien friends asking about the symbols. Most did not reply. The few who did seemed nervous and gave short, unclear answers. On the council station, Ambassador Kim noticed more changes. Alien officials avoided eye contact with him. Meetings were canceled without explanation. When he asked questions, he received polite but meaningless answers. Late one night, Kim could not sleep. He decided to walk through the quiet corridors of the station. Most aliens were sleeping, but he saw lights in one of the meeting rooms. Curious, he moved closer. Through a small window, he saw several council leaders sitting around a table. Councillor Vextar, the reptilian leader, was speaking. Kim could not hear the words clearly, but he recognized some phrases. Human problem. Phase 0. Implementation tomorrow. Anna Kim's blood turned cold. What human problem? What was Phase 0? He tried to get closer to hear better, but footsteps approached from behind. Ambassador Kim, a voice said softly. It was one of Vextar's assistants. You should be sleeping. Tomorrow will be a very important day. Kim smiled nervously. I could not sleep. Just taking a walk. Of course, but please return to your quarters now. For your own safety. The way the alien said safety made Kim's skin crawl. He walked back to his room, his mind racing. Something terrible was about to happen. The next morning, Kim tried to contact Earth, but all communication channels were mysteriously busy. He attempted to reach the human ships, but received only automated responses. On Lee's ship, alarms suddenly began ringing. Lieutenant Commander Han Ji-woo rushed to the bridge from the tactical station. Captain, we have multiple alien fleets surrounding our position, she reported. They appeared out of nowhere using some kind of cloaking technology. Lee looked at the main screen. Hundreds of alien ships surrounded the small human fleet. Ships from every species in the Council were there. Even their closest allies. This is not a pirate attack, Lee said quietly. This is something else entirely. His communication system activated. Counselor Vextar's face appeared on the screen, but his expression was not friendly anymore. His reptilian eyes showed no emotion as he spoke. Captain Lee Tae-min of Earth, you and your species have been judged by the Galactic Council. The decision has been made. Lee felt his heart sink. They had been betrayed. All the friendship, all the cooperation, all the trust. It had been a lie. The Council had been planning this from the beginning. What decision? Lee asked, though he already feared the answer. Vextar's cold smile showed sharp teeth. The human problem requires a final solution. Counselor Vextar's image filled the screens of every human ship in the 3 zones. His reptilian face showed no mercy as he spoke to the trapped fleets. Humans of Earth. His cold voice echoed through the bridge where Captain Lee stood frozen. For 50 years we have watched you. We have studied you. We have learned about your species. Dr. Park So-young gripped the rail beside her. Around the bridge, the crew listened in silence. Outside their ship, alien vessels surrounded them like hungry wolves. Your kind grows too quickly, Vextar continued. Your technology advances too fast. Your military becomes stronger every year. The Council has decided that humanity poses a threat to galactic peace. Lieutenant Commander Han Ji-woo checked her tactical display. The numbers made her sick. Over 200 alien ships surrounded their small fleet of 30 human vessels. Every species they had called friends was there. We gave you friendship, Lee said into his communication device. We shared our knowledge with you. We trusted you. Vextar laughed, a harsh sound that made everyone on the bridge shiver. Your trust was useful. It allowed us to study your weaknesses. Every joint mission taught us about your ships. Every cultural exchange revealed your military secrets. Every friendship was a chance to gather information. Park felt tears in her eyes. For 3 years, she had worked closely with alien scientists. She had shared meals with them, learned their languages, and considered them friends. All of it had been lies. The decision is final, Vextar said. Humans are too dangerous to exist alongside civilized species. You will be eliminated today. Your home planet will be destroyed tomorrow. The galaxy will be safer without you. The communication ended. Silence filled the bridge for several seconds. Then alarms began ringing as the alien ships powered their weapons. All stations, battle positions, Lee ordered. His voice stayed calm, but his hands shook slightly. Prepare for combat. Engineer Lim Sung-ho's voice came through the communication system from the engine room. Captain, that strange device we found is activating. It's sending signals to the alien ships. Can you stop it? Lee asked. I'm trying, but it's connected to everything. If I cut it wrong, we might lose life support. Han checked her weapons display. Half their ship's systems showed red warning lights. Captain, our weapons are not responding properly. Something is interfering with our targeting systems. Lee realized the horrible truth. The aliens had been sabotaging human ships during their joint missions. Every time they had worked together, alien engineers had secretly planted devices in human vessels. They've been planning this for years, he said quietly. Every friendship was part of their plan. The first alien energy blasts hit the human fleet. Captain Lee's ship shook violently as enemy fire struck their shields. Around them, other human vessels were also under attack. Return fire, Lee commanded. Han pressed her firing controls, but only half their weapons worked. The shots that did fire missed their targets completely. The targeting systems had been compromised. "Our shields are failing," reported the defense officer. "The aliens know exactly where to hit us." Through the view screen, Lee watched one of the human ships explode in a bright flash. 23 crew members died in that instant. People he had known for years were gone. In the engine room, Lim worked frantically to remove the sabotage devices. Every time he disabled one, another activated. The aliens had been very thorough in their preparation. "I found 12 different devices," he reported to the bridge. "They control weapons, shields, engines, and life support. This is not random sabotage. This is a complete system shutdown." Another human ship died under alien fire. Then another. The human fleet was being destroyed piece by piece. Park watched the slaughter through her tears. "How could we have been so blind? All those years of friendship." "Because we judged them by human standards," Lee replied grimly. "We thought friendship meant the same thing to them as it does to us." The alien ships moved closer, taking their time. They knew the humans could not escape or fight back effectively. This was not a battle. It was an execution. Han managed to get one weapon system working properly. She targeted the nearest alien ship and fired. The energy beam struck its shields but did little damage. "Their shields are too strong," she reported, "and they know all our weapon frequencies from the joint training exercises." Lee looked around his bridge. His crew was brave, but they all knew this was hopeless. The aliens had planned everything perfectly. Humanity had walked into a trap 50 years in the making. "Sir," the communication officer called out, "I'm receiving messages from the other human fleets. They're under attack too. Same situation, surrounded and sabotaged." Lee closed his eyes for a moment. Hundreds of human ships were being destroyed across 3 different areas of space. Thousands of humans were dying. The Council was wiping out humanity's entire space presence in one coordinated attack. Another explosion lit up the darkness as a human cruiser died. Only 15 human ships remained in Lee's area. "Can we send a message to Earth?" Lee asked. The communication officer worked at his controls. "I'm trying, sir, but the aliens are jamming most frequencies. I might be able to get through on one emergency channel." "Do it," Lee ordered. "Earth needs to know what happened here." As his ship shook under another enemy attack, Lee began recording his final message. Around him, his crew continued fighting even though they knew it was useless. "This is Captain Lee Taman of the exploration vessel Friendship," he began. The irony of his ship's name was bitter now. "Earth Command, we have been betrayed by the Galactic Council. Everything was a lie. They have been planning to destroy humanity for decades." The ship's lights flickered as more systems failed. Lim's voice echoed from the engine room. "Hull breach on Deck 4. Life support failing on Deck 7. Lee continued his message. "The aliens have sabotaged our ships during joint missions. They know all our weaknesses. Every species in the Council is part of this conspiracy. They plan to attack Earth next." Through the view screen, he could see alien ships closing in for the final attack. Only 8 human vessels were still fighting. "I'm uploading all tactical data about alien capabilities. Their weapons, their shields, their weaknesses. Use this information. Make them pay for what they've done today." Han fired their last working weapon at an approaching alien ship. The shot went wide. The targeting system finally failed completely. "Goodbye, Earth," Lee said into his recording. "Remember us, and remember that they started this war." The communication officer nodded. "Message sent, Captain. It got through." Lee looked at his crew one final time. These brave men and women had followed him across the galaxy in the name of peace and friendship. Now they would die because they had trusted the wrong people. "It has been an honor serving with all of you," he told them. The alien ships opened fire with all their weapons at once. Captain Lee's ship, like the rest of the human fleet, disappeared in a brilliant explosion. Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out in 2 other locations. Within 6 hours, the entire human space fleet was destroyed. Thousands of humans were dead. The Galactic Council's plan was working perfectly. On the main council station, Ambassador Kim Do-hyun was arrested by alien security forces. He would not live to see another day. Councillor Vextar watched reports of the successful attacks with satisfaction. The human threat had been eliminated. The galaxy was safe from their dangerous ambitions. What the Council did not know was that Captain Lee's final message had reached Earth, and Earth had been preparing for this possibility all along. Admiral Choi Woo-jin sat in his office deep beneath Earth's surface when Captain Lee's final message arrived. The underground facility was hidden 3 kilometers below the mountains of Korea. Very few people knew it existed. The Admiral watched Lee's recording 3 times. Each time his face grew harder. When it ended, he pressed a red button on his desk. Protocol 7 is now active, he said into his communication device. All department heads report to Command Center Alpha immediately. Within minutes, the secret facility came alive with activity. People in military uniforms hurried through corridors that had been quiet for years. Lights turned on in sections that had been dark. Massive doors opened with deep rumbling sounds. Director Yu Hairin was the first to reach the Admiral's office. She had been waiting for this day for 20 years. Her face showed no surprise, only grim determination. "The alien betrayal?" she asked. Admiral Choi nodded. "Complete destruction of our public fleet. Just as we predicted they might try. Then it's time to show them what humans really are," Yu said quietly. General Kang Min-soo entered the office, followed by other senior officers. Captain Nam Hyun-woo was among them, though he wore no uniform anyone would recognize. His ship was not part of Earth's official fleet. "Gentlemen and ladies," Admiral Choi began, "today the Galactic Council made the worst mistake in their species' history. They have awakened something they do not understand." He activated a large screen on the wall. Images appeared showing massive spacecraft hidden in asteroid fields throughout the solar system. Ships that looked nothing like the ones the aliens had destroyed. "For 50 years we have shown the galaxy our peaceful face," the Admiral continued. "We shared our culture, our friendship, and our trust. But we never shared our true strength." Dr. Shin Ye-jin stepped forward. She had been working in the deepest levels of the facility for decades. "Our weapon systems are ready, Admiral. The alien technology we've been secretly studying has given us everything we need." The room fell silent as everyone understood what this meant. While Earth's public fleet had been making friends with aliens, another group had been preparing for war. "Show them the numbers, Director," Admiral Choi ordered. Yu activated her datapad. New images filled the screen. Project Dark Fleet, 3,412 combat vessels. Each one designed specifically to fight alien technology. Hidden bases in 17 different locations throughout our solar system. Captain Nam studied the display. He commanded one sector of this hidden fleet. "Our ships use hybrid technology. Human engineering combined with alien science we've been secretly reverse engineering for decades. We know their weaknesses because we've been studying them since first contact." General Kang pointed to tactical displays. "Every joint mission with aliens was also an intelligence-gathering operation for us. While they were learning about our public fleet, we were learning about their military capabilities. We hoped we would never need this," Admiral Choi said. "For 50 years we genuinely wanted peace. But human history taught us an important lesson. Always prepare for the worst while hoping for the best." Dr. Shin brought up weapon specifications on the screen. "Our ships carry weapons the aliens have never seen. Plasma cannons that can punch through their strongest shields. Kinetic weapons that move faster than their sensors can track, and biological weapons designed specifically for each alien species." The Admiral walked to a window that looked out into a massive underground hangar. Dozens of sleek dark ships waited in the shadows. They looked deadly even while motionless. "The aliens think they destroyed humanity's military power," he said. "What they actually destroyed was our diplomatic corps. Our real military has been waiting in the shadows." Director Yu pulled up more files. "Intelligence reports from the last 50 years. We know the location of every alien homeworld. We know their population centers, their military bases, their industrial facilities. We even know which species were reluctant to join the betrayal and which ones led it. The reptilian Vextari were the primary conspirators," General Kang added. "Our intelligence suggests this betrayal was their idea. They convinced the other species that humans were a threat." Admiral Choi smiled, but there was no warmth in it. They were right about one thing. Humans are a threat, just not the kind they expected. Captain Nam looked at his orders. "What are our rules of engagement, Admiral?" "There are no rules," the Admiral replied. "They chose total war when they decided to eliminate our species. We will respond in kind. Every alien who participated in this betrayal will face the consequences." Dr. Shin activated another display. "We've identified 12 species that were directly involved in the attack. 4 more provided support. The remaining Council species either stayed neutral or were kept unaware of the plan. We start with the conspirators," Admiral Choi decided. "Complete military defeat. Then we move to their supporters. The neutral species will be given one chance to surrender. Director Yu brought up deployment schedules. Our fleets can be ready to launch within 6 hours. The aliens expect us to need months to respond to their attack, if we can respond at all. They underestimated human efficiency, General Kang noted, and they overestimated their own security. Our intelligence networks have been in place on their worlds for decades. The Admiral walked back to his desk and picked up a communication device. All fleet commanders, this is Admiral Choi. You are authorized to begin Operation Payback. Show the galaxy what happens when you betray humanity. Captain Nam saluted. It will be an honor to avenge our fallen comrades, sir. Remember, the Admiral said to all of them, the aliens started this war when they chose deception over honest diplomacy. They destroyed our people who came in peace. Now they will face our people who come for war. Dr. Shin checked her final reports. Biological weapons are loaded and ready. Each species will face weapons designed specifically to counter their physiology. The Vextari will discover that their cold-blooded metabolism makes them vulnerable to thermal shock weapons. And the gaseous Nethkari will learn that their atmospheric dependency is a weakness when facing chemical warfare specialists, General Kang added. Director Yu monitored the deployment screens. First wave launching now. Target Vextari homeworld system. Estimated arrival time, 14 hours. Admiral Choi watched his secret fleet emerge from hidden bases throughout the solar system. Ships that had been built in secret, crewed by volunteers who understood the risks, armed with weapons that combined human ingenuity with alien technology. The Galactic Council thought they were eliminating a threat, he said quietly. Instead, they have created their worst nightmare, an enemy that knows all their secrets and has no reason to show mercy. The hidden fleet accelerated toward the edge of the solar system. Behind them, more ships emerged from concealed bases. The production facilities that had been building these vessels in secret for decades were now working at full capacity. How long until the aliens realize what's happening? Captain Nam asked. They won't understand until it's too late, Admiral Choi replied. By the time they detect our first attacks, half their military infrastructure will be destroyed. On the screens, Earth's secret fleet disappeared into hyperspace, heading toward alien worlds that had no idea death was coming for them. The Council had betrayed humanity expecting easy victory. Instead, they had signed their own death sentence. Let them learn what humans are truly capable of when we stop pretending to be civilized, the Admiral said. Captain Nam Hyunwoo stood on the bridge of his warship as it emerged from hyperspace. Before him lay the Vextari homeworld system, peaceful and unsuspecting. 3 planets supported billions of reptilian aliens who had no idea that death had arrived. All ships report status, Nam commanded into his communication device. Around his vessel, 99 other human warships appeared from hyperspace. The hidden fleet had arrived. Hunter Squadron ready, came the first reply. All weapons charged and targeting systems locked. Reaper Squadron in position, reported another captain. Biological weapons armed and ready for deployment. Nam studied his tactical display. The Vextari had 12 military stations defending their system. Their fleet consisted of 200 vessels, mostly older designs that Nam's intelligence files knew inside and out. Remember our mission, Nam told his fleet. These beings ordered the death of every human in space. They showed no mercy to our people. We will show none to theirs. The Vextari detected the human fleet within minutes, but they did not understand what they were seeing. Their communication channels buzzed with confused chatter. Unknown vessels, identify yourselves, came a transmission from the lead alien ship. This is Vextari Military Command. You are entering restricted space. Nam smiled coldly. This is Captain Nam of the human fleet. We are here to collect payment for your betrayal. Silence followed his words. The Vextari had thought all humans were dead. The appearance of an advanced human fleet in their home system was impossible in their minds. That cannot be, the alien commander finally replied. We destroyed all human military vessels. Your species has no fleet. You destroyed the fleet we allowed you to see, Nam corrected. Now you will face the fleet we kept hidden. The first human attack began without warning. Nam's ships fired weapons the aliens had never encountered. Plasma beams cut through Vextari shields like paper. Kinetic projectiles moving at incredible speed smashed through alien hulls. Within the first minute of combat, 6 Vextari ships were destroyed completely. The aliens tried to return fire, but their energy weapons barely scratched the human shields. Their defensive frequency is exactly what our intelligence predicted, reported Commander Bei Yun-ji from the intelligence ship. 50 years of studying their technology during joint exercises has given us everything we need. The Vextari fleet tried to regroup, but the humans had studied their tactical patterns for decades. Every maneuver the aliens attempted, the humans countered perfectly. Colonel Oh Seojun's marine assault ships moved toward the military stations. These vessels carried specialized troops trained to fight in alien environments. Oh had been planning this operation for 20 years. Boarding parties away. Oh reported as his ships reached the first station, beginning infiltration procedures. The human marines used equipment designed specifically to exploit Vextari biology. The reptilian aliens needed higher temperatures to function properly. The humans flooded the stations with supercooled gas that made the aliens sluggish and confused. Station 1 secured, came the report. All alien personnel neutralized. No human casualties. On his command ship, Nam watched the battle progress. The Vextari fleet was being systematically destroyed. Their military stations were falling one by one. Everything was proceeding exactly as planned. Major Park Chan-ho, begin atmospheric operations, Nam ordered. Major Park commanded 3 squadrons of fighters designed for planetary assault. His pilots had trained for this mission using detailed maps of Vextari cities that human intelligence had gathered over decades. Roger, Captain. Beginning runs on military targets on the surface. Park's fighters dove toward the main planet. They carried weapons specifically designed to target reptilian biology, chemical compounds that would make the aliens sick without permanently damaging the ecosystem. Dr. Shin Ye-jin monitored the biological weapon deployment from her science ship. Dispersal pattern is perfect. The compounds will affect only reptilian nervous systems. Other life forms on the planet will be unharmed. Within hours, the entire Vextari military was either destroyed or incapacitated. Their fleet was gone. Their stations were captured and their ground forces were too sick to fight. Nam opened a communication channel to the planet's surface. This is the human fleet. Your military has been defeated. Your people are alive but helpless. This is what happens when you betray those who offered friendship. The Vextari planetary leader appeared on screen. The reptilian looked weak and frightened. Please, we surrender. Do not harm our civilians. Your people will live, Nam replied. But your civilization is now under human control. You will serve as an example to other species of what betrayal costs. Commander Bei reported from her intelligence analysis. Captain, we've accessed their communication networks. We now have confirmation of which other species were involved in the conspiracy. Nam studied the data. The Nethkari gas people were the second most enthusiastic supporters of the betrayal. They're our next target. The human fleet left the Vextari system after establishing occupation forces. Nam's ships had suffered 0 casualties while completely defeating an enemy that outnumbered them 2-1. 3 days later, the same pattern repeated at the Nethkari homeworld. The gaseous aliens lived in floating cities within their planet's thick atmosphere. They thought their environment made them safe from attack. They were wrong. Human intelligence had studied their atmospheric requirements for decades. Nam's ships released carefully designed compounds that made their breathable gas mixture toxic. The floating cities fell from the sky within hours. 2 species defeated, 10 more to go, Nam reported to Admiral Choi back on Earth. The Admiral's voice came through clearly. Excellent work, Captain. How are the aliens reacting? Panic is spreading through Council space, Commander Bei reported. They're trying to organize a defense, but they can't coordinate properly. Some species are blaming others for starting this war. Nam smiled. Human psychological warfare was working perfectly. They spent 50 years planning to betray us. We spent 50 years planning to fight them. The difference in preparation is showing. Major Park's fighters had perfected new attack patterns that exploited alien weaknesses. Human pilots can handle higher G-forces than any alien species we've encountered. Our maneuvers are literally impossible for them to copy. Colonel O's Marines had captured 17 military installations without losing a single soldier. The aliens trained to fight each other, not humans. Our combat techniques are completely foreign to them. Dr. Shin's biological weapons had proven devastatingly effective. Each species requires different atmospheric conditions and has different biological vulnerabilities. 50 years of medical cooperation gave us detailed knowledge of every species' weak points. The third target was the crystalline hegemony, These silicon-based aliens lived on worlds of living rock. They had provided advanced materials for the ships that destroyed the human diplomatic fleet. Nam's fleet arrived at their system with weapons specifically designed to shatter crystalline structures. Sonic disruptors that could break their rock-hard bodies. Acid compounds that dissolved their silicon-based technology. The battle was over in 6 hours. An entire civilization that had existed for millions of years was reduced to helpless fragments. "The pattern is clear," Commander Bay reported as they left the shattered crystal worlds behind. "Each species we attack sends warnings to the others, but those warnings only create more fear and confusion." Nam checked his tactical reports. The Council species are starting to flee their homeworlds. Some are trying to hide in distant systems. Others are attempting to negotiate with species that stayed neutral. "Let them run," Nam replied. "We have the locations of all their colonies and hidden bases. Human intelligence networks have been mapping the galaxy for 50 years. There is nowhere they can hide from us." Dr. Shin monitored communications across the galaxy. The remaining Council species are beginning to turn on each other. Some are trying to surrender separately. Others are demanding to know why the Vextari started this war. "Good," Nam said. "Fear and blame will make them easier to defeat. Unity was their only chance against us, and we've destroyed that." The human fleet moved toward their next target. Behind them, 3 major alien civilizations lay in ruins. The galaxy was beginning to understand that humanity's peaceful nature had hidden something far more dangerous. Admiral Choi Woo-jin watched the tactical displays in Earth's hidden command center. Red marks showed the location of destroyed alien civilizations. 3 species had already fallen to human forces. 9 more were marked for elimination. "Captain Nam's fleet has secured the hegemony worlds," reported Director Yu Hei-rin. "Total human casualties so far, 0. Alien military casualties estimated at 200,000. General Kang Min-soo studied intelligence reports. The remaining Council species are in complete panic. 5 species have abandoned their homeworlds entirely. They're fleeing to distant colonies. It doesn't matter where they run," Admiral Choi said coldly. "We know the location of every alien settlement in the galaxy. 50 years of intelligence gathering has mapped their entire civilization." Dr. Shin Ye-jin approached with her latest research. "Admiral, I've completed development of stellar manipulation weapons. We can now cause stars to become unstable, making entire systems uninhabitable." The Admiral examined the weapon specifications. The technology combined human engineering with alien science in ways their former enemies had never imagined possible. "Excellent work, Doctor. Begin deployment to our fleet commanders immediately." Commander Bae Eun-ji's voice came through the communication system from her ship deep in alien space. "Admiral, we're receiving surrender offers from several Council species. They're offering tribute, territory, and complete submission." "Denied," Admiral Choi replied immediately. "They chose to judge us worthy of extinction. Now they will be judged by the same standard." The Admiral activated a galaxy-wide broadcast system that human intelligence had secretly built into alien communication networks over decades. His message would reach every species in Council space. "To all who betrayed humanity," his voice echoed across thousands of worlds, "you declared war on us, believing we were weak and defenseless. You murdered our people who came to you in friendship. You planned the genocide of our entire species. On alien worlds across the galaxy, billions of beings listened in terror to the human Admiral's words. You were correct that humanity poses a threat to your way of life. We threaten your ability to commit genocide whenever you decide another species is inconvenient. We threaten your power to destroy civilizations that refuse to submit to your will." Captain Nam Hyun-woo received new orders while his fleet approached the 4th target system. The tentacled conclave had provided the coordination systems used in the human fleet's destruction. They would face humanity's newest weapons. "All ships prepare stellar manipulation devices," Nam commanded. "We're going to demonstrate something the galaxy has never seen before." The human fleet emerged near the conclave's sun. The aliens detected them immediately, but their defensive fleets were afraid to approach. Word of humanity's victories had spread through the galaxy. "Human fleet, please reconsider," came a desperate transmission from the conclave leadership. "We can negotiate. We can make reparations for our actions." Nam's reply was broadcast to the entire system. "You negotiated our destruction in secret for decades. You made reparations by murdering our people. Now face the consequences." The stellar manipulation weapon fired a beam of energy into the system's star. Within hours, the star began to expand and become unstable. The planets would soon become uninhabitable. Evacuation ships are leaving the system, reported Nam's tactical officer. Should we stop them? Let them flee, Nam decided. They can carry word of what happens to those who betray humanity. Fear is a weapon too. Back on Earth, Colonel Ryu Jae-sung was preparing for special operations against Council leadership. His teams had been training for decades to eliminate specific alien targets. We have confirmed locations for 87% of the Council members who voted for humanity's destruction, Ryu reported to Admiral Choi. Stealth ships are in position around their hiding places. Begin Phase 2 operations, the Admiral ordered. No Council leader who voted for our extinction should survive to see another day. Ryu's assassin team struck simultaneously across the galaxy. Using advanced cloaking technology and weapons designed to appear like accidents, they eliminated alien leaders one by one. The Vextari counselor who had announced humanity's death sentence was found dead in his secure bunker, apparently killed by his own security systems. Other Council members died in shuttle accidents, reactor explosions, and mysterious poisonings. 43 Council leaders eliminated in the first wave, Ryu reported. The remaining aliens are going deeper into hiding, but we'll find them. Dr. Shin monitored the psychological impact of the human campaign. Alien communication networks are showing complete breakdown of social order. Several species are experiencing civil wars as different groups blame each other for provoking humanity. Commander Bay intercepted alien military communications. The remaining Council forces are trying to organize a unified defense, but they can't agree on leadership. Each species suspects the others of planning separate surrenders. Major Park Chan-ho's fighters were pioneering new forms of psychological warfare. His squadrons appeared over alien cities, demonstrated their superior capabilities, then departed without attacking. The message was clear: humanity could strike anywhere, anytime. The fear campaigns are working perfectly, Park reported. Alien civilian populations are demanding their governments surrender rather than face human retaliation. Captain Nam's fleet had now destroyed 5 major alien civilizations. Each victory was more devastating than the last as human forces perfected their techniques. The Hive Mind Collective is our next target, Nam announced to his captains. Intelligence indicates they were the species that provided the sabotage technology used against our original fleet. The collective consisted of billions of insect-like creatures, sharing a single consciousness. They believed their unity made them invincible. They had never faced an enemy that understood their weaknesses. Dr. Shin had developed specialized biological weapons that attacked the collective's shared nervous system. A single deployment would affect their entire species simultaneously. This is the most ambitious operation yet, Nam told his fleet. We're going to disable an entire species with one coordinated strike. The human fleet approached the collective's core worlds. The aliens detected them, but seemed unable to coordinate a defense. Their hive mind was already being affected by long-range biological weapons. Within 6 hours, the entire hive mind collective was unconscious and helpless. Billions of aliens lay dormant while human occupation forces secured their worlds. 6 species defeated, Nam reported to Earth. The galaxy is learning that betraying humanity has consequences that cannot be escaped. Admiral Choi studied the strategic situation. The remaining Council species are completely demoralized. Some are trying to negotiate with neutral aliens for protection. Others are attempting to flee the galaxy entirely. Should we allow any escapes? General Kang asked. No, the Admiral replied firmly. They made their choice when they decided humanity should be extinct. That choice has permanent consequences. Commander Bay reported from her intelligence ship. We're detecting increased communication between neutral species and the remaining Council members. Some neutrals are considering providing sanctuary. Send a message to all neutral species, Admiral Choi decided. Any civilization that provides aid to those who betrayed us will be considered complicit in their crimes. The message was broadcast across the galaxy. Within hours, neutral species began refusing to help the fleeing Council members. No one wanted to face humanity's wrath. Dr. Shin presented her latest development to the Admiral. We now have the capability to render entire star systems permanently uninhabitable, not just destroying planets, but making the space around them toxic to all known life forms. Admiral Choi examined the weapon specifications. Deploy these to all fleet commanders immediately. The remaining council species need to understand that there is no safe place left for them in this galaxy. The human war machine continued its systematic destruction of those who had betrayed them. Each victory made the next one easier, as fear paralyzed their enemies and prevented effective resistance.